the green ruby, and we're starting.
Alright, green ruby, I like it, I'll take it.
Well, it looks like the uncle today is gonna have our fighter sword.
Maybe.
But we already know what the uncle's gonna have, so that's nice. Who knows, maybe this isn't randomized.
Yeah, definitely not randomized. Although he didn't give a shield. Yeah, or he doesn't give a shield.
I use his shields.
Nobody. There's nobody.
Yeah, we don't need a shield.
I saw one runner use the likes to get rid of their shield.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, they just had it eaten and then walked away. Never to be recovered. Alright, well, now they have a first sword. They're just going to make their way through the escape here. It's going to be pretty standard, right? Like, with a sword. This should be really easy. Still looking for some bombs, though. They still want those bombs so they can make explosions.
Yeah, we can see it in either the chest or from the drops. There's a early Walmart shirt.
Yeah. They're blue mail. That's nice protection. I mean, they're in probably what's the easiest dungeon of the game, but nevertheless. Nice full bottle drop there for Buane. Filling up the magic. Oh! g3rd0 going back for that bomb drop. That is exactly what they're looking for.
Really good.
Yeah, very nice drop there for him. They're going to want those... Yeah, they're going to want those to explode the back wall in the escape there.
Got some Mountain Dew Code Red.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Mountain Dew Code Red. I wasn't really sure what was in the bottle these days.
Well, we can now see the sick kid item as soon as we go to Kakariko.
Yeah, that's a nice item to be able to pick up. One more while you're in there. There's so many items in there to begin with, but just being able to get that one more, you don't have to worry about coming back for it later on. And Zelda was just holding on to a key.
Yeah, that key will show up any point in this escape sequence, or else we wouldn't be able to, well, escape.
Yep. Very true. Only place it can't show up is the sanctuary.
And so far, g3rd0's the only one with the bomb. Buane still hasn't found one yet.
Yeah, Buane's gonna be looking for one of those on his way out. He'll probably be looking for one from either the snakes or the rats in the back half of the dungeon. They're going to be the easiest way to pick up one of those. Some of these guards here that might get in his way. One green ruby is definitely not what he's looking for. Yeah, they're still going to want more than the one that g3rd0 has. There's going to be at least 3 spots in the village there that they're going to want bombs for. So they're going to be looking for more of those. But once they get to the village, if they have enough rubies, they can just buy 10.
Yeah, that's usually the play we see if they don't have bombs. There's also a little bomb farm spot next to the grove.
Yeah, exactly. But they definitely want to have the one for the back of escape. Otherwise, you have to get one of those spots that's going to nag you for the rest of the run until you go and get it. Now, runners typically go get it early, but yeah, here's Buane looking for bombs from the snakes.
He managed to find one, so that's good. He won't be missing out on those free chests in the back.
No, there was an 8-pack of bombs right there, and a hook shot.
Wow. Well, if we find a way up to Death Mountain, that's gonna be great.
Yeah. Runners are looking for a pair of mitts or a flute, and that'll make Death Mountain all the way open. Yeah, that 8-pack of bomb is great for Buane. He does not have to go and buy them, as they're a little bit rupee light right now. g3rd0 going to be looking for some more bombs, though.
We're gonna see what these free chests are. We got a burrito, a power glove, okay,
Yeah.
and more bombs.
Yeah, as you said, the more bombs is great for g3rd0. But as you said, right there, those gloves open up Death Mountain for these runners, and that the dark rooms to get up there aren't going to be any problem for runners of these calibers. So
yeah, it's also one of the items we need to access the Dark World as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that and the hammer.
And the pearl.
Right.
And we got a stack full of cash in the sanctuary.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. That's gonna put Zora somewhere in the back of our runner's mind. They still need more money for that, but there's a crystal check. We see 5 crystal up at the Tower of Hera, and the other 2 dungeons in the Light Worlds are just crystals. So
yeah,
that's good to know.
Got an all crystal Light World.
Yeah, all 3 pendants are in the Dark World. Any predictions on what we might see as a pendant dungeon?
I think Pendant TR is kind of nasty.
Yeah. There's a tree pull from Buane, and it's
all bombs.
Yeah, all bombs. There it is.
And there you go. There's your fireworks.
Early bombos, as predicted.
And we're good at calling these things.
Yeah, just a little bit of love here in the Thieves' Hideout. Yeah, bombs grow on trees. We've had early bombs. We have early bombos. We've got fireworks everywhere. Ba-boom.
Yeah, now all we need is bombos to be required for Meyer Turtle Rock, and we're set.
Who says it's not?
So we got no lumberjack check yet.
Yeah, it's just one item, and the way the items have provided right now for our runners, I mean, they might not need Aghanim at all. Plus, there's a couple of spots where they can kind of work it in later if they really feel they need to check it. There's a red cane and a red orang.
A lot of red items.
Yeah. Well, you know, they got to get the red, white, and blue in here somehow.
Hey, there's another red item, the fire rod.
Yep. It's all on our theme today of fireworks. Bombs, bombos, and fire rod.
We're technically also wearing a blue shirt and holding a white sword. You want to get that technical? And we got all the patriotic colors.
Exactly. We're ready to celebrate French Independence Day. Oh, wait. Maybe was that wrong day?
Yeah, I think that was the wrong day. Hey, there's a fighter shield and a shovel
and a boomerang. So it'll be interesting to see which of the the boomerangs our runners choose, blue or red. Oh, look at that! The
wow,
bottle vendor holding some literacy.
He was just reading that book while sitting on that carpet. I'll tell you.
And they just stole his book, and there's the ability to swim. Wow!
Oh my God, Kakariko is loaded.
Yeah, these runners are going to have everything. If this continues like this, it's going to come down to some serious execution from these runners. Here's the sick boy check.
Let's see if Sick Kid has something.
He does. He has a whole lot of love. You know, full heart. Full hearts like that early on are really nice for our runners.
How generous of that kid to sell his entire organs to this one random boy.
Yeah, and there's a second one in the tavern. I think for sure we're going to see a library check, and then they're going to go down to the race game.
It's possible that we might get a shovel check as well.
Yeah.
Over here.
Yeah. Having that early shovel, nothing in the library there. Yeah, for sure. I think very possible. Both of our owners choosing to check the item on the race game ledge before actually getting it. Yeah, and it's just a full heart.
It's a good choice to do that. They got 7 bombs, so.
Yeah, I don't think they're actually going to go get that.
They are going to get a shovel check.
Yeah, there's that shovel check you were talking about. This is, I mean, it's real easy to go get. You're one screen away. So, you know, and you pick up a bunch of extra bombs.
More fireworks.
All right, Gerdo's going to save and quit. Where does he go? All right, he's going to save and quit to save the screen.
Gerdo's going to save and quit, and Buane is making the jog to the dam. Gerdo's right behind him.
Yeah. This is kind of the next logical step here. Go and figure out what's in South Hyrule. Gerdo going straight over. What's that?
Gerdo's skipping the dam. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was at. Straight over to Mini Moldorm Cave. 2 items, not very exciting here. As we've seen Buane complete both of them.
Here's something interesting. Looks like Buane is heading to the desert area.
Yeah, there's only a few items that are accessible over here. Oh, wait, no. He has the book, so he can go in here and actually complete this dungeon. He can
complete it, yeah. He can complete it if the big key's not on the torch. So this will be interesting if it works out.
Yeah, the big key or a small key.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, so if the dungeon is not boots locked, he can actually go and complete this dungeon and picking up a crystal. So we're gonna have a Gino check here. Meanwhile, it looks like Gerdo's making his way over to Ice Rod Cave.
And then Gina had the lamp.
There you go. That is definitely going to open up in the logic Death Mountain.
Yeah, Death Mountain would be an amazing play right now. Especially now we knew it's all in logic.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, big 20 on the ledge. Death Mountain could be a good play. We don't have access to Dark World Death Mountain.
Yeah, nor do we have access to Tower of Hera if we don't find a hammer or mirror.
No hammer. So can't get to the Tower of Hera. Unless they find a hammer or the mirror.
Alright, so Gerdo's gonna check out the flipper lock locations, just a $5 bill on the island.
Yeah. That's an item that's nice to know. Alright, and Buane has the key, so unless the big key is on the torch, he will be able to complete this dungeon. So he's going to check over here for some items. And there's one. There's only 2 items in this dungeon.
Yeah, if this is a big key, this dungeon's completable.
And it is. And Buane is going to complete this dungeon, most likely, and acquire the first crystal.
Yeah, this is a really good gamble for Buane. It paid off.
Yeah. Looks like Gerdo is going to be heading up to the Zora area. Going to be checking the fairy falls here. The Zora himself, as he has 500 rupees, as well as the ledge. Could be something in there that pays off, like the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, and it looks like the last item in Desert was the 2nd shield upgrade. So RIP Riot Shield.
Yeah, and there's the shield on the ledge.
Oh my god, alright. Well, we know where all free shields are.
Yeah, but That does put into play Laser Bridge later on. There could be something on Laser Bridge.
Yeah, that's true. Alright, let's see if there's gonna be a scam today.
Oh, it's always a scam. Look at that, 500 for 20.
That's always the worst.
And it's not even like saving and quitting, like saves you the money. You see it still counts down and takes away all your money anyway.
I know. Looks like g3rd0 might be following Buane's footsteps over the desert.
Yeah, he's gonna come in here and check out the swamp first, the Light World Swamp, and then perhaps head on over to the desert. Like that's really gonna be the play. We get the lamp over there. While there's nothing in the desert palace, I mean there is the crystal that's there, and it's completable. Well,
Yeah.
he doesn't know that right away, but he'll find it out soon enough.
It looks like Buane getting his first crystal 16 minutes in. That has to be one of the fastest first crystals I've seen this tournament.
It's a pretty fast first crystal for sure, and I think now we're definitely going to be seeing Buane head up to Death Mountain like you called earlier.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, he's saved at the house. Okay, he's going to finish off Southern Hyrule here and go do these areas with the flippers. So yeah, he's going to go check out the dude under the bridge, perhaps the Ice Rod Cave and Zora. These are going to be all waste of time for him, but he doesn't know that yet.
He does get another heart container.
Yeah, another heart container's still good. Once our runners get about 10, they don't care about those anymore. And they're getting mighty close to that, so... One thing to note here is that g3rd0 did not go into Agina's cave yet.
Yeah, I feel like he might do that after desert.
I think so too.
Lamp isn't too much value, but it does give us knowledge that all of Death Mountain is in logic.
Well, yeah. It logics in all the dark rooms. It also logics in, interestingly enough, Aghanim.
It does. We can't do Aghanim. We need either another sword or a cape.
We do need those two items,
out.
right? Yeah, but they're also still missing the Moon Pearl. And so if they find something like a sword or a cape up on Death Mountain, Aghanim becomes seriously in play.
Yeah, that, and we still do not know what that lumberjack item is.
That's true. That lumberjack item could be something terribly important, and that means Aghanim is absolutely required. So without that Titan's Mitt or the hammer and the Moon Pearl, Aghanim is still a possibility here. Our runners would like to avoid that, but and the interesting thing here with g3rd0 having not done Aghanim or Agina's cave first is, and he goes ahead and does it last. The save and quit right away out of Desert Palace kind of is off the table because he has to leave and go over to Agina's cave rather than save and quitting right away and going up to Death Mountain, which I'm almost certain would be his next play.
Yeah, after both of our runners do their own duties that they've done like a couple minutes ago. They'll probably head up to Death Mountain next.
Yeah. Look at this. g3rd0 finishing off the Lamolus with bombs.
Yes!
That's the spirit. More explosions.
And he gets his first crystal on the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, that's still a really good time. That's still a really good time. Buane, seeing the shield on the ledge there, will also be equally uninterested in that, I would imagine.
Yeah, and it looks like g3rd0 is gonna go back to Gina's cave. He's gonna find that lamp.
Yeah, this is a good play. It's a good play. He must have some other plan here than saving, quitting, and going up to Death Mountain. Making this play later makes me think he wants to go somewhere else or do something else. Oh, he's just gonna save and quit. Where does he go?
This might look like an
Sanctuary.
Eastern play.
No, he's going to the Sanctuary, so I think Death Mountain's on his play. But yeah, for Buane, it might very well be an Eastern play.
Ah, well, this is interesting. We'll see which play pays off. Which one will have the hammer and pearl, and which one?
I like g3rd0's play a lot better. It's basically what the game is screaming at you. Please go to Death Mountain. Here's this stuff that you can go there with. Now, sometimes that doesn't pay off, but you know, usually when the game tells you to do something.
Well,
Oof.
we did find a moon pearl in the back closet of Salshrala, so
yeah, there is the moon pearl. That's certainly one thing that our runners are looking for. Absolutely.
yeah. Now it looks like Buane is gonna try Death Mountain.
Yeah. There's that single arrow for g3rd0.
Well, rip the dream of single arrow on pedestal.
That's all right. There's still like arrow upgrades and bomb upgrades that can be on pedestal.
There's still the green ruby.
That's true. There is still the green ruby. Yeah. So here we are going to see what's on Spectacle Rock first. g3rd0 seeing 10 arrows up there. And then he's going to go inside and check out what's in Spectral Rock Cave. And that looked like silvers.
I believe that was silver arrows.
Yeah, I think both of our runners are going to go pick that up. It's just too much of an advantage to not pick up. It's in a spot that's relatively easy to access, and that's what it was. The old man was hinting, you are going to need a bow because there's silvers up here in Spectacle Rock Cave.
Yeah, that single arrow is kind of hint. Oh, perfect bomb jump there for g3rd0.
Yeah, it was a great bomb jump there by g3rd0. Really, really nicely executed. Saves a lot of time when you do that too, not having to go out and around.
So over on the east side, we got 8 chests, 7 in Paradox Cave, and then there's the one in Spiral Cave, or Resident Sleeper Cave, as we're gonna call it, because we don't have boots.
Yep. There's 2 plus 5. That's right, which is the 7. And we're gonna see all of those as g3rd0 is gonna go get start to get them right now. And Buane will follow up. Interesting there, Buane saving and quitting. Does he not realize that? Oh, he's okay. Saving and quitting right back to the mountain cave.
Yeah, save a little time there.
Yeah, rather than going out and around, absolutely, definitely save.
So far, just some money. Titan's Mint, alright. That puts Dark World in logic.
So there it is. Aghanim is pretty much dead now as a dream. Unless there's something in that tree. Which is looking more and more unlikely. But yeah, now we have access to the Dark World. Our runners are still going to be looking for that hammer. That'll give them access to Tower of Hera while they're up here. Unlikely that they're going to find it, but
Yeah. Also important to note, Girdle hasn't been to Shawshralls yet to pick up his Moon Pearl, so he technically doesn't have Dark World access, but Wayne will.
yeah, that's right. But I imagine that now that he's checked out everywhere that he can, he's heading over to Eastern Palace area.
Yeah, as soon as you pick up this item in Spiral Cave, he's gonna probably book it to Shawshrall.
Yeah, if Mirror is here, that would also give him access to Tower of Hera. But it's not. It's just a big 20. Yeah, and here's Gerdo. He's going to be heading over to Eastern area, and he's going to be getting that Moon Pearl. Question is, does he go into Eastern first, or does he go right to the hut? I would think logically he goes to the hut first in case there's something like the bow or whatever in there that would allow him to go in and complete Eastern, or give him the Moon Pearl, which is what's in there.
Vanilla Moon Pearl could happen, or not Vanilla Moon Pearl, Vanilla Bow could happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, here he goes into Shawshrall's hut. I think once he picks up this Moon Pearl, he's going to save and quit. Interestingly enough...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say... Interestingly enough, that Buane picking up the Moon Pearl gives him access to all the Dark World Death Mountain that he's now chosen to go and do.
Yeah, he's just going to start off with Dark Death Mountain while he's up here, because he's got those Titan's Mitts and the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, that Mitts gave him that access right away, so a little bit of an edge there to Buane for having picked up that Moon Pearl early.
Looks like Gerdo's going to do much of the same.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of information and chests up here, so like this is, I mean, pretty much the play. This is what you have. Oh, look at that! And
there's our map check.
Oof, our pendants are Skullwoods, Thieves Town Dungeon, and Swamp Palace.
And the other red crystal was Pod.
Yeah. So that means the double-chested fairy could very well have something, given the red pendants are early.
We found our bacon coin, the Quack Medallion. We're going to see what's required for TR. It's Ether. That's the only medallion we don't have.
Yeah. There's that map check by Gerdo. So that's really interesting because all the easily accessible Dark World dungeons are pendants. Except for obviously Swamp Palace. I wouldn't call that easily accessible given the number of items you need for it. But the Skullwoods and Thieves Town dungeons are both pendants. So it's a question of, will our runners go into these dungeons and check for things, and how much time will they spend in them?
Yeah, and now that we know where all our crystals are, I guess we can talk about go mode items. So, got a few. So we got the bow, the ice rod. Now we know Ether is required for TR.
Yep.
Mirror is not required because Swamp is a pendant.
Ice rod also required. Can be anywhere. Can literally be anywhere.
I know. It's one of the trolley items. We also need a flute, and we still are looking for that hammer.
Yeah, we do have to go to Misery Mire and Desert Palace for that hammer. Or, I'm sorry, Palace of Darkness for that hammer. So, yeah. Mirror, not required. So the longer they do not find the mirror, the happier our runners are actually probably going to be, because that takes Swamp Palace off the table. So that means they just don't have to go in there.
Yeah, even though mirror helps with routing, it will put Slump Palace and Logic. And we
Yep.
got two. Both of our runners going in 2 separate Pendant dungeons.
Yeah, I do like I like g3rd0's logic a little bit more. If you're gonna come into these dungeons, go up to Skull Woods. It's a little more out of the way. There are 2 items in there. You can check out the front half, easy enough. Also, both of these dungeons are completable, given that they have the fire rod, and you don't really need anything for Thieves Town dungeon to complete it. They kind of, they have a sword or whatever, so they can beat blind. Plus, they have a sword and the fire rod for Skull Woods here.
Yeah, it's important to note that regardless of what sword you have for blind, it'll do the same amount of damage.
Yep, takes 9 hits. There's a nice little use of the Cane of Samaria there by g3rd0. Oh, Buane taking a death there. All right, there's one of the items from Skull Woods from g3rd0, and it's a big 20, so this is halfway been a waste of his time.
It looked like that death was intentional, as Buane is leaving Thieves Town.
Yeah, quite possibly. He wants to go check the rest of the area. Probably wanted to check out just the top 4 chests. g3rd0, however, just dedicated to his path, and that is all of Skull Woods. Interesting
Buane
here that he's... Oh, go
not
ahead.
doing Smith. He's gonna go to Alkbong's backyard. Alright, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this, I like this, because you can't do the shovel game with the frog. So if he goes and picks up does the shovel game, he can then pick up the frog and then do a bit of a world tour. So what I was gonna say is that it's interesting there's that ether medallion that g3rd0 has chosen to go and check the chest here at the bottom rather than defeat Mothula and then check the chest later. As if Mothula holds the item, then you just don't ever have to bother with that chest. And not having the mirror, he has to walk the entire way.
Yeah, he hasn't found that last item yet, and g3rd0's not gonna take any chances. He's gonna hope and pray that that last item is on Mothula.
Yeah. Well, it's either that or the big chest right now, which I don't think he's found the big key to check that. So
And he's found the big key. It was in the first chest in the back.
Okay. Then he has not checked the big chest. Alright, here's Buane definitely doing that world tour. He's gonna come over to Hype Cave. We'll see if this is actually hype anymore. Oh, g3rd0.
It could be.
Yeah, let's get some hype.
Oh yeah, get some hype for the hype cave. Go light in
Alright,
our
so-
firework there.
Yeah, so far big 20 and some love.
There's the
that.
cape and the master sword.
Alright, so Aghanim totally in play.
All the Aghanim items in hype cave.
Yeah. Oh man, I wonder what the game is telling you now. g3rd0 using the red potion there, but taking down Mothula. That
Mothula had the flute.
Yeah, Mothula
Wow.
having the flute. That is a huge movement item for g3rd0.
Well, it's also required for Myers, so this is girl got really big advantage there.
Yeah, absolutely. So now he has access to the Misery Mire area, in addition to the fact that he'll be able to move around really quickly when he's in the light world. So that's really nice. The question is, when is Buane gonna go and do that, if at all?
Man, Skullwoods is kind of an out-of-the-way dungeon.
Yeah, that's why I was saying I like this check earlier when you first come in here. And it looks like g3rd0 is not even going to bother with going into town. He's kind of taking a path over to check out what's on the
Wow.
Cape Cave.
Yeah. Hammer on Pyramid, and the target shirt on... what's that cave called? Oh, Bummer Cave.
Yeah. Bumper Cave.
Nice. We finally got our hammer. Almost put the pod in play as soon as we find that bow.
Yeah, that's a real nice one. The other thing is that that opens up Tower of Hera for Buane. Obviously it's a bit out of his way, but he will be able to access the Tower of Hera. All right, g3rd0 gonna go and open up Thieves Town there.
I believe when Wayne went there, he only found 2 items. He didn't bother going to the back. So let's hope that those 2 items were not important if g3rd0 decides to check those items.
Yeah, I mean, g3rd0's already found that flute, having completed Skull Woods. So, question is, what else is g3rd0 going to find while Wayne looks in other areas?
Where is Wayne going? This looks like an Ice Palace play.
I mean, he's got everything for it. He's got Bombos, he's got Fire Rod.
Yes, it's an Ice Palace play.
This is...
Very, very bold move there.
Wow, this is really interesting.
Usually when I see that hammer, I think pod, or Tower of Hera even, that's completable. But Ice Palace, see if it works out.
Ice Palace is completable. They have the hook shot. They have the fire rod. They have the Bombos medallion, and this dungeon is absolutely completable. All right, g3rd0 taking that death there. That we saw Buane do. So that's it. He's not interested in the items in the back half of that dungeon either.
Yeah, interesting. He's gonna gamble on that, seeing what we found in Skull Woods. I don't think TT would do the same.
Yeah, this is a bold move by Buane. I really like this. He's gonna have to full clear this dungeon, which kind of sucks, but he's making progression. This is a crystal dungeon, so it must be that in his mind, you know, even if there's nothing here, I'm still gonna be progressing towards the goal. So I like this.
Yeah, just like with Desert, he's gonna have another crystal.
Yeah, exactly. And here he comes up on this bomb jump. One of the easier to set up bomb jumps if you know what the visual cues are.
g3rd0's picking up his ether.
Yeah,
that bomb jump is it's probably one of the more important ones, because it skips a lot of Ice Palace.
yeah, definitely. This is the first bomb jump that I learned when learning this game. There's a lot of really good tutorial stuff on that particular bomb jump. If you are interested in learning this randomizer, or even this game.
Oh yeah, I believe GamerCal has done a video doing every single good bomb jump for this game.
Yeah, quite possibly. I'm not familiar with that, but yeah. All right. Boy, you're going to be coming into the back half of Ice Palace here. Meanwhile, g3rd0 picking up that +5 bomb capacity. Not so exciting.
Well, it gives us a chance to light more fireworks.
It does.
I'm hoping for one of the seats today for the uncle to spit out the bombs.
Yeah, that'd be fun. All right, Gyro coming up on Hype Cave. He's gonna pick up that sword, that cape, and the nothing else that's really in here. All right, more fireworks for Buane.
There we go.
We just get them all.
Where is Gerdo heading? No, it's just taking a shortcut.
He is going all over the place. He's really going on that world tour.
Yeah, he took a little detour there. I've never seen anyone try to get
Well,
over
I think
there that route.
He's going over to get to the pyramid. You can't go up without the hammer.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have the hammer yet. Oh man, God, take 40 minutes in, you would have the hammer by now. But it's on a weird spot. It's on that pyramid, man.
Yeah, it's right where he's going. He's about to get it. So
Yeah.
yeah. Other thing we have not seen is we have not seen the catfish. Neither runner has checked catfish. So there's that double-chested fairy location. We might see our runners go and get that a little bit later on. Although neither of them have either of the red crystals. Both of those red crystals being Tower of Hera and Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, we can get one of those crystals right now in Tower of Hera. And if you find the bow, you can get the second one.
Yes, accurate, 100%. Yep. Yeah, that hammer pickup opens up the Tower of Hera. Oh, look at this. Gerdo is gonna go up for that catfish. A bit of an out of the way location, but I kind of like this play here.
Oh, here we go. Here comes the fire. Oh, yeah, he's gonna do it.
Yeah, he's got the bombos.
Yeah, America.
Neither of our runners are American, no.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Let's get in the mood, though. All right, Gerdo checking out the catfish. Meanwhile, Buane causing more explosions, more fireworks. Look at all those fireworks.
Very nice. That's crystal number 2 for Buane. 42 minutes in, Gerdo just picking up a piece of heart from catfish.
Yeah. It does completely clear out a lot of that overworld in the dark world for Gerdo. At least a lot of it that's accessible right now. So these are not bad plays by Gerdo, right? And the one thing that Gerdo has here that's really going to speed up his play is the flute. A required item, and it's deep in Skull Woods.
It's Mothula deep.
Yeah, absolutely. So Buane needs to get that item. And while he's making progress here, as we now see him making his way up to that Tower of Hera, you know, Gerdo is going to be able to fly around the world and get to these locations just that quicker. Not to mention the fact that he has access to Misery Mire, and with all 3 medallions and the hook shot and the red cane, that's completable.
That's also true.
So it doesn't matter which medallion is required to open it up.
Of course, with that said, I would love to see Bombos open it up.
I mean, Pedestal is potentially still open. I mean, Ice Rod could be there.
Ice Rod and Bow, I think, are the only 2 pedestal items.
Yeah, they'd have to find Mirror for Pedestal to be a thing. And without Mirror, Pedestal can't be a thing. So here's Buane coming into the Tower of Hera. And it looks like Gerdo's heading up to this same play, this Tower of Hera play. There is the big key. That's nice.
No bathroom break yet.
Yeah, no tile room, at least not right now. There are 2 items in the Tower of Hera, so our runners are going to be looking for those 2 items. Please, 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 not the tile room, and that will make this dungeon a lot faster. So there are a few chests up at the top, plus Moldorm, who is going to hold Buane's 3rd crystal and what will be g3rd0's 2nd. So that ice palace play there by Buane, not really panning out. He did get a crystal out of it, but other than that, I don't think he got anything too spectacular from it.
Oh, it was nice to get it out of the way.
Yeah, definitely nice to get it out of the way. Now the question is, what's next for him?
Well, it looks like the last time didn't offer anything useful.
Yeah, Buane not going for the big chest there. Yeah, nothing in the last 2 dungeons for Buane. So where is this going to lead him? Is the question here. Is he going to go back to Thieves Town, or is he going to go over to the Skull Woods? He can't.
I think he might go over the pod. That could be something.
He can't. There are 6 chests in Palace of Darkness. It's not completable without the bow. The second set of mimics, you can't get by them.
Oh, he's gonna do Spike Cave.
Yeah, he could. Spike Cave is certainly a possibility here. They do have the hammer and the cape. All right, g3rd0 going to do the bomb jump over here to check out what's in the big chest. Going to get a map. As there's the 2nd item for him.
There's the green ruby.
Yeah, there's one of them. There are 2 or 3 in the game, actually. But
2 or 3.
What's that?
I think. Yeah, I feel like there's 2 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. g3rd0 going to be picking up his 2nd crystal whenever he gets up to Moldorm. Getting a little bit trolled by those squids. Knocking him down.
Alright, nice.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to point out that we got a Twitch Prime sub from HLA Hat for subscribing for 12 months to Speed Gaming. Thanks for the support, man.
That's awesome.
Uh-oh, this looks like... Is this Skullwoods?
I mean, I would certainly hope so. I would hope... Nope.
Oh.
It's down. It's down for... I think this is going to be a completion of Thieves Town. If he doesn't find anything in Thieves Town, or not...
Head Cave.
Ah, yeah, Hammerpeg Cave. Okay. Alright, so that's one more item for Buane. Also over here is the purple chest. You can pick that up while he's over here.
Yeah, good old Gary's lunchbox.
Yep. Alright, g3rd0 going to be going into Spike Cave here as well. So... What, Buane, besides the flute, Buane is going to need the ice rod. Both runners need that. And the bow. And the bow is the big key here, because the bow unlocks both Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness.
I believe that we only need 2 items for go mode, being the bow and the ice rod. Well, that also depends on if the GT big key's on the torch, and we'll also need the boots. But that's pretty much it we have for now.
Yep.
And g3rd0 making the play to Meyer, which is very smart.
Yeah. Now, there are 2 chests in Meyer, but around it, you have the Meyer shed, which there's an additional 2 chests. light world area being mostly complete already. That's pretty much it. What's over here now? Oh, there's the
There we
bow!
go.
Oh,
That's gonna hurt Buane even more.
that is absolutely huge for g3rd0. So that flute is required to get the bow, which, I mean, Ice Rod can be anywhere, literally anywhere. It's probably super deep on Laser Bridge inside of Turtle Rock.
It could be there, that classic troll.
But
the laser bridge.
This is huge for g3rd0. Absolutely huge for g3rd0, having completed Skull Woods and picked up that flute. Because even if Misery Mire contains absolutely nothing, he now has access to go and complete 2 more of the Crystal Dungeons. And Palace of Darkness, as we said earlier, has 6 chests in it.
Yeah, Palace has 5.
Is it 5? I'm sorry.
3. Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's
Swamp
Palace has 6. Palace of Darkness does have 5. You're right. I keep saying
it's hard to keep track of Pod because of all the keys in that dungeon.
Yeah, there's like 6 of those in there. That's what it is.
Oh yeah, a lot of keys.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw it! Oh, that's go mode for g3rd0.
Yeah, that's it. That unlocks everything, and it was completing Skull Woods is what I'll open it up for him. And here's Buane gonna be going into Turtle Rock.
Oh no, that's not gonna work out for Buane.
No, not at all. This is because we know where the Ice Rod is now, and this is not completable. Oh no, this. Okay. Oh man.
That just came up out of nowhere.
This is. Ooh. Probably the item that could troll them the most was just right there. Right there when g3rd0 needed it.
Yeah, that flute was in a very trolly spot.
Yeah, it's gonna take Buane a long time to go into Skull Woods at this point in time. Because he's gonna go do as much of Turtle Rock as he possibly can, which is gonna be most of it.
Yeah. Also, g3rd0 is now in go mode. He can go mode 5 dungeons.
Yeah. He can go mode Ice Palace, Eastern Palace, Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, and TR is the big one.
This dungeon plus Turtle Rock. Yeah, so. I think g3rd0 is just looking for his key.
Yeah. Once they find the big key, they can just complete the dungeon. Unless
he has the big
needed.
key. Yeah, he has the big key. Yeah.
Yeah, GT big key torch can happen, but it's pretty low.
Yeah. I mean, percentage-wise, there's 22 items in Ganon's Tower. It's 1 out of 22 chances. Plus, logically, they don't have the boots. Like, who knows where the boots are locked up? They could be locked away inside of Swamp Palace, and the mirror would be in Ganon's Tower. So, like, then for sure the game won't put the key on the torch. So, like, 1 out of 22 isn't even really good estimation of the odds, given the other stuff that we don't know about the game and the position of items. So it's even less than that as an odds. And here's Buane checking all the chests here in Turtle Rock, and this is just costing him more and more time. G3rd0.
Yeah, the more he stalls Mafia, the more time g3rd0 is gaining.
Yeah, and he's pulling out these silver arrows, so Victorious is going to be nothing.
Vitreous is the joke with silvers.
Oh,
And he got 4 free crystals
yeah.
before the hour mark.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how he routes out Palace of Darkness area. If he does Eastern Palace first and then walks down over into the Dark World to do Palace of Darkness after that, or if he does Palace of Darkness first and then kind of like save and quits over to his house to do that area. It looks like he's going to the witch to refill his bottle with a blue potion. Nice safety there.
Servant.
What's that?
Like servantly, that's nice.
Yeah, it's a really good safety. I'm sure he feels very, very comfortable having everything basically early. The one thing that's got to be on the back of his mind, though, is did his opponent do the same thing?
Yeah, that is just inside his head on where his opponent is right now, if he picked up that flute from Mafia or not.
Oh, yeah.
And Buane is feeling even more stressed out because he's thinking g3rd0 is like, they're like neck and neck, but he's not unaware of where that flute is.
Well,
all those items.
Yeah, the other thing is he's more than halfway through this dungeon and hasn't really gotten anything exciting. He's not gotten anything that he's looking for.
Yeah, just a cane of Brian.
He's still looking for that flute. He's still looking for that bow, and he's still looking for that ice rod. And he's gonna open up this last chest here and be sorely disappointed because it's none of the 3 items that he wants. There's that big key for g3rd0 that really opens up this dungeon for him. Once he gets around, he can just go straight up to Armos Knights. Yeah, and that's it for Buane. He's opened up that chest, and it's nothing. It's not. He knows now he's in big trouble.
Yeah, he's in really big trouble. I think he's trying to debate where he wants to go now.
I think his choice is...
I think he's thinking Pod. He's got that hammer.
Yeah, Pod. I mean, if he really doesn't want to dip the Pendant dungeon, which is absolutely required, then Palace of Darkness is probably his play. He's going to be disappointed with that play too. Nothing that's in there is what he's going to be looking for. g3rd0 making use of those silver arrows once again. Get rid of that green Igor.
g3rd0's just gonna demolish those Armos Knights with those silver arrows.
Oh, absolutely. Silver arrows. Still finding the silver arrows like that early it's really nice. It's one of the reasons why as soon as you find the silvers, you have to pick them up. You absolutely have to pick them up. It makes the bosses and whatnot that you still have left to do so much easier.
That. Just making Armos Knights a joke.
Got one hit for each of them. Yeah, and now that he's done Eastern Palace, he's gonna go right down to the hammer spot, and he's gonna flute over there, and he's gonna do the Palace of Darkness, and that leaves him with one no, two crystals left to get, and that's Ice Palace and Turtle Rock. And he can just flute over to Ice Palace and then flute up to the mountain to complete Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and as soon as he finds all those keys he needs to complete the dungeons, he can just go straight over to the bosses in those respective dungeons.
Yep. Yeah. Buane, meanwhile, making his way through Eastern Palace, which we see G3rd0 heading to. This is going to be another disappointment for Buane. Man, and this started off really close, really good.
Finding all those items in Kakariko was very nice.
All right, did Buane
coming down to those flutes?
Yeah, did Buane get the... Okay, yes, Buane did get the potion glitch there. So he is going to be able to open up the door without the use of the bow. And he's going to be able to make his way back. As we see that this dungeon is, in fact, bow-locked. That is not a small key that G3rd0 just got.
Yes, indeed.
So yeah, there's the big key though. That is exactly the kind of thing that G3rd0 wants. Early big key. So he's going to be going in
and there's a small key right next to it, so you can just go straight to Helmasaur.
Yep. Yeah, this is exactly the kind of thing you want when you are go-moding this dungeon. Not the kind of thing that Buane is looking for. He wants those items, but we already know where they are. Mothula is his key. I think G3rd0 needs one more key here, and he's home free. He can just go straight back, actually, right now.
Yes, you can.
And he doesn't need to do anything else.
He just needs a big key and a small key to get to Helmasaur.
Yeah, which he has two small keys and the big key already. And yeah, these are the mimics that Buane cannot get by without the bow. Plus this guy right here. Just in case you find a way to get past those mimics. Alright, Buane looks like he's setting up for a nice little bomb jump here to get to the big chest. Can he hit it?
Gonna pull it. Be cool if he does it.
Yes! Really cool.
Nice! And rewarded for more fireworks.
With more fireworks.
Using fireworks to get fireworks.
Yep. And this definitely has been a seed full of fireworks. We got all our fire items early, which was predicted. And then the big firework that has exploded is the flute on Mothula. Yeah, no,
gonna take off this mask and then just one shot with the bow.
Yep.
And almost down.
There's those silver arrows again. Yeah, Buane's gonna have a really hard time catching up. There's not much that he can do at this point in time. The crystal dungeons that he has remaining are not completable without the flute, which is on Mothula. As the items required to complete them are locked away by that flute. So Buane is going to have to go to Skullwoods, and he's going to have to beat Mothula. And until he does so, he's just going to be wandering around aimlessly, which is really unfortunate. Yeah, And here's g3rd0 going to be getting Ice Palace. Again, go moding this. It's going to make this real easy. He's going to just bomb jump us straight across and head over to Cold Stare.
Yeah, Cold Stare is Girl's next victim.
Yep. Hopefully, g3rd0 does it the right way, and we see some more fireworks with that Bombos medallion.
And Buane once again walking past Skullwoods.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna go into Thieves Town dungeon, and we know once again that this is not where he needs to be. Luckily, though, this is really his second to last play. It's this and Skullwoods. So once he finishes this, he's gonna have nowhere else to go. Skullwoods. So
that's a good thing.
Yeah. It's a little too late, but he is eventually going to get there. All right. Buane's going to be coming up on this gauntlet hellway space here. See how he makes through. This room is really, really nasty. Alright. Here's g3rd0's Ice Palace bomb jump. Sick. First try. That's really
yeah. Nice. Like it using those fireworks to his advantage there.
Yeah, there's been lots of fireworks. Lots of fireworks all day. And this is only the first race of the day, so
I think we got 2 more races after this, one starting at 4:30.
Yeah, we'll check the schedule once we get a wrap on this race.
Oh yeah.
Let everybody know how they can catch all the Zelda action that they want. But yeah, this has still been really good. This started off very, very strong. And both of our runners have been executing really, really well with what they're doing. So alright, here's g3rd0's attempt. There it is! He's got the Bombo selected. Boom.
Here we go. Happy Independence Day, everybody!
Double fireworks on Cold Stare, and there's some more fire right there. We can see all the explosions. Cold Stare explodes. 3 separate pieces. Look at all those explosions. Fireworks everywhere.
Oh yeah. And then just using that fire rod as well. It's even better.
Buane working on the scripted blind fight. Very, very nice execution so far. And some more fireworks there on Buane's side. Picking up a big 20.
Okay, now I'll stand far back from my mic now. I had to do that.
Rip.
I'm sorry I made people deaf.
Rip people's ears? Well, you know what also makes people deaf?
Fireworks!
Very, very loud. Especially if you're close to them.
Maybe I did it on purpose.
Yeah, so actually that's a really...
wait. Buane's going to Skullwoods?
Yeah. That's a really good point. And in someone's main chat is at least our runners have not found the mirror. That would have been one more spot for Buane to go and just get lost in. But yeah, now he's gonna get that flute. And when he does, boy, is he gonna feel really far behind.
Okay, Gerdo heading over to the last dungeon, TR. This is the one of the dungeons you want to be in go mode in, because it is so long and painful.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, somebody brought it up in chat here. Gerdo's complete. I'm gonna go and complete Skullwoods dive in there, and picking up the flute was an absolute 100% gamble, and it just turned out to be right. You know, there are a lot of runners that would not have done exactly what Gerdo did. So, you know, you can't say that Buane did the wrong thing. You know, he did what he. It just didn't pay out for him. And there's that big key for Gerdo. That's the exact kind of thing that he wants to see. Early big key here means quick and easy Turtle Rock.
I believe I saw one of the other keys on the double rolling pin room.
Yeah, yeah, they're gonna need. He's gonna need that right away.
Alright, Buane is about to enter Mafia, and he's gonna be... Oh, he's gonna be in the surprise of his life right now when he finds out what Mafia has.
Yep. He's gonna be ecstatic, because that is gonna lead him to that flute, and that is gonna lead him to Meyer, and that's gonna lead him to the chest area, the Meyer shed, plus Meyer itself, and he's gonna be picking up both the bow and the ice rod.
Alright, here it comes.
He'll be in go mode once he hits those items. So that's what Buane's been looking for. Fantastic. Now he's got it. It was a very clean Mothula fight by him. Alright, Gerdo into the chain chomp room. Nice. Very nicely done by him. Alright, Buane back to the sanctuary, and he's going to be activating that flute. Do we know where Boots or Half Magic is? No.
We don't know where the boots are, we don't know where the mirror is.
Will Buane understand whether he's super behind or not? Actually, it's unlikely that he'll know exactly how far behind he is. That Skull Woods play is a huge gamble. You know, a lot of runners would go and complete the beginning of Skull Woods and not do Mothula till later. It's very time consuming to make that play. So the plays that Buane has made are very logical. So it's unlikely. He'll feel behind, but he won't feel as far behind as he actually is, because frankly, Gerdo's play was super lucky. Not to take away from his gameplay, but like the fact that the flute was where it was just really lucky for Gerdo.
Yeah, Buane still did a good job. It was just unfortunate that flute was behind Mafia. I still think Buane did a really good job handling the seed regardless.
No, both of our runners have done a fantastic job.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, well, I'm not taking away anything from our runners here. Just, you know, item position is item position when you play randomizer. It's always a thing that you got to have in the back of your mind. Here's Buane. He's going to be picking up that bow. Exactly what he wants. Exactly what he's looking for. He's got to be really relieved to find that. And hopefully he goes right into Misery Mire here. It is a crystal. He's right here. And he's going to pick up that ice rod almost immediately. And he's going to be very excited.
Yeah, I'll be go mode for him.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, Gerdo making his way through here, the dark firebar navigating thing room. I don't even know what to call that. Pretty easy. There's a set of inputs and path you can follow. Just kind of memorize it. You can. Most runners use that to even just do that room in the dark. Very nice 2-round there in that room by Buane. That room can certainly be tricky. Getting a little bit out of sync.
He's coming up to try next.
Yeah, now interesting here, he has only the Master Sword. So this actually can be a tricky fight.
Yeah, it would be a tricky fight, but I think maybe the other 2 sword upgrades are in GT somewhere.
Yeah. It's yeah, here it is. He's going to use the hammer. Hammer does tempered Master Sword damage. So he'll be able to take out the other head, no problem.
Very nice. Meanwhile, Buane picked up his ice rod, so now he's in go mode himself.
Yeah, the ice head a little bit easier because the fire rod actually does damage, whereas the ice rod does not. Yeah, and now g3rd0 completely out of magic. He does have to deal with that small area, small patch of ice, but he should be able to get some hits in while the body is completely vulnerable, making the third part of Trinax relatively easy.
Alright, nicely done. So, you know what that means? We're about to head into GT, and here on Speed Gaming, we like to play a little game regarding GT.
Oh yeah.
So
we're gonna have to start this real quick because.
Oh yeah. Well, this time around it's gonna be a little bit interesting because of a certain location in particular. But there are 22 possible locations that this big key in GT can held. If you can guess the number location where the GT big key is, you will win a fantastic prize of being one of our members on our little old grand old leaderboard that we have.
Yes, subscribers get onto the leaderboard. Or people who've donated bits, I think. I forget which. Anyway. Alright, g3rd0 opening up Ganon's Tower. Meanwhile, Buane making his way to the back of Misery Mire here. In go mode, he's going to have to complete Eastern Palace, Palace of Darkness, and Turtle Rock. Now, nice. What is nice for him is that he just has to go kill the bosses in Turtle Rock and Palace of Darkness. Still going to take him time to get to the back of them, but
okay. Chest 1, wrong size. Chest 2, also the wrong size. And it looks like he's heading over to that torch. Is it going to be the big key? Is the 4% chance actually going to happen? Nope.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't have the boots. Who knows where they are? I mean, if the boots are logicked inside of Swamp Palace, there's a 0% chance for the big key to be there.
Okay, rectangle chest, 4 for 8. Got a compass in 4. Wrong size in 5.
There's a green
6 had some Mountain Dew.
Oh, that's just regular Mountain Dew?
Yeah, it's regular Mountain Dew. And then there's a sack of powder in chest 7.
Yeah, that's a nice safety item there. That bag of powder.
And then we got the double torch room for chest 8.
Tempered Master Sword. That's something.
Hey, there's one of the swords.
Yeah, that is something that our runners are looking for. Absolutely.
Well, this is going to be a very fast scan with both those silver arrows and the tempered sword.
Yes.
Speaking of fast, Victorious getting destroyed by Buane with those silver arrows.
Yeah, there once again the advantage that the silver arrows gives runner. It's nuts. It's absolutely insane. You see them, you have to pick them up. The only time you don't pick them up is if they're locked behind the aghanim in the tree.
Yep.
Because if you don't have to do aghanim, you don't do aghanim.
Okay, so we're coming up to the well-known randomizer room for chest 10 through 13. 9 just had a burrito.
Is it 10 through 13? I thought it was 11 to 14. Doesn't matter. Oh, no, 14 is Bob, the crazy
14
fairy.
is Bob, yeah.
Yeah, and there's that. There's that mirror.
Oh!
Yeah, so there's that mirror. So, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Boots in Swamp Palace seems ever more likely now, given that we know the location of all this other stuff. Like, it's either here or in Swamp Palace. And given that we just found the mirror, Boots are indeed in Swamp Palace. There's no way for the key to have been on the torch.
Well, we saw the mirror either way.
That's true. We did see the mirror either way. A little bit too late for it, but all right. Gerda going to do a bomb jump in lieu of the bonk jump. That is typical here. All right, and what does Bob hold? Oof, rip Bob.
Yeah, you turned into a fairy.
All the
last minute. Those last minute powder there.
Yeah, all the love.
I was 14, by the way, so 15 through 17 is going to be behind ice almost.
Yep. Again, the silver arrows. I just ridiculously easy.
And when I say behind ice Armos, I mean not behind ice Armos because they're already gone. There we go. 15 was the answer.
There it is. And with Gerdo with 2 keys, he can immediately mirror up to the entrance and head straight up. So if you guessed 15, congratulations.
Yeah, very, very nicely done. So Gerdo going to be heading up to the gauntlet in just a few seconds. Buane heading over to Helmosaur.
Yep. Yeah, Gerdo going to be making use of those silver arrows again to get through the gauntlet and just crush everything in sight. Yeah, nice Helmosaur there by Buane. Again, silver arrows. Just they destroy everything they touch. Man, silver, it must be an awful, terrible thing to have in Hyrule. It kills like everything.
So. Even kills a giant man pig.
Yeah.
That's also blue. A little trouble the land mows here, though.
Yeah. Yeah, when you miss, you can't shoot another arrow. You can only have one on screen. You have to wait until it hits the wall. So that gave Griddle just not quite right on the timing there. There's a nice little fairy pickup, man. I love these strats with the cane. Kill these Stalfos Wizrobes.
Oh yeah, Kane Samari is one of those good doing cool strats, you know.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. That was just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, those Wizrobes just got destroyed.
Yeah. Fantastic and really quick, really quick way to do those rooms.
I got the first torch room here. Gonna be using the lamp due to lack of half magic. We're gonna use fire on this torch.
Yeah, there is a green potion or a full magic fill up in one of the skulls over there, if he needs it. But conserving with the lamp there is very prudent. Yeah, g3rd0 not checking any of the chests up here. Doesn't. The only thing he'd be looking for at this point in time is the 4th sword upgrade. So it looks like he doesn't really care for it.
Yeah, it's the 4th sword upgrade. We already know the red mail is on Bumper Cave ledge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not gonna bother going to get that. They would have done so a lot earlier.
There goes Trollorm 2. He's got a select shot ready to get this last chest of the game, the validation chest.
Nope.
Not gonna give it open.
That final. So again, he doesn't. The only thing that he'd be looking for is the golden sword. He doesn't care. I'm surprised he opened up the chest inside of the room with the fairy and the bunny beam.
That was like right there. He was trying to fill up on fairies using the bunny beam and the anti-fairy.
Yeah, it's possible.
So here comes Aghanim. Technically Agha 1.
Nice. That looked like a double there. Very nice. Alright, just one. Agha trolling him with a little bit of a blue ball.
Yeah, that was a double.
No, that was a triple, that one, I think.
Nice triple.
Yeah.
We got a double and a triple.
Yeah. There you go.
And a single. Pretty good.
Oh, that's all he needed.
Alright. g3rd0 heading off to Ganon. He's gonna be getting his blue bacon. And he's gonna get extremely fast with the tempered sword and the silver arrows. Oh man.
Yeah, it's going to take 12 shots for him to get Ganon to have Ganon switch modes. We'll say. Getting in some doubles here with spins, and he's already in the second. He's already got Ganon in the second mode. There's another word I'm looking for. Perhaps somebody could put it in chat. And then once yeah, here, right into the silver arrows right away. All right, no torch glitch for g3rd0. Looked like you tried for it though.
Yeah, that was a nice attempt.
Oh, a triple there!
Wow, amazing job by g3rd0, and he's gonna barely beat the 128 mark.
Oh my goodness, this is an amazing time.
That is an amazing time. We got all those early items in Kakariko, and that Mafia play paid off. 127.59, amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, his official time is 127.58. It's absolutely amazing.
Really, really well done by g3rd0 there.
Yeah, I think
g3rd0 in our chat right now.
Yo, what's up?
Hey.
Hey. So, about that flute on Mafia.
Yeah. When I found it, I knew that there was a pretty good chance that would just win me the race straight up. Because from how he plays normally, he probably would skip the back of Skullwoods at least, probably even the front. So I felt really good finding that there.
Yeah, he did. That's exactly what happened. Is he skipped?
And that just carried me through, I suppose.
Oh yeah, because the location of the bow and the ice rod.
Yeah.
There was no way for Buane to get those two items.
I mean, if the bow and ice rod were accessible somewhere early, I think it would have been even better for me. Maybe not the bow, but the ice rod, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was. It's true.
it was an interesting seed nonetheless, finding all those items in Kakariko.
Oh yeah, yeah. The front of the game was very loaded.
Yeah, like I found 3 red items, I think in blinds, like in Thief's Hideout or something.
Mm-hmm.
But none of them were the red item, the only one I wanted to see, which are the boots, which never showed up.
No.
Probably
Yeah,
buried somewhere in swamp or something, I don't
Those
know.
boots were man of mystery, but I'm gonna put my guess on swamp.
Yeah, that was my speculation. Pretty much the entire run. Is that the mirror was in Ganon's tower and the boots were in Swamp Palace, and you were never seeing them.
Yeah. I really don't like these bootless seeds. Like, it's so much less fun. It's just less fun to play overall without the boots. But sometimes you just have to play these seeds out. What can you do?
Not much. Not much.
But GG's to Buane was a good series.
Yeah,
Good player.
absolutely. Every time it comes down to game 3.
Yeah, it's always those game frees, man. They're always the hype ones, especially seed-wise. Oh, hey, and we've got Buane in our live chat right now. GG, Buane.
Thank you. g3rd0, way to go.
GG.
Yeah, man. What were you thinking as you made your way around the over, trying to find those last few items that you needed?
Felt great when I found Hammer pretty early.
Yeah.
Because that was not someplace I had to go that early. And felt terrible for the next 45 minutes after that, I feel like. I can definitely see how Skullwoods is a play you'd make early when you land Pendant Skullwoods, Pendant Thieves, no Hammer just yet. I was going to do it on a second loop, so my plan was to kind of loop around the Dark World south to east. If I don't find anything big, come back and do Skullwoods to east. But finding the Hammer there just made me go check literally every Hammer location in the game first, and that's going to happen sometimes.
Yeah.
Also, I would just like to point something out. The mushroom is on the pedestal. The god item on the pedestal happened. The seed. Okay, continue.
Yeah, no, it was an interesting fast seed. As soon as I actually hit go mode, I said, wow, this pretty much just lines up. If I start in Skullwoods instead of just starting in Village of Outcasts, I can totally see. I was actually waiting for the even faster done from g3rd0. If he had hit that god route like that, I was kind of expecting it from like the moment I set into Eastern. I just kept glancing over at the screen every 15 seconds, expecting to see it. So that's just gonna happen. And g3rd0 definitely played better this series, and he deserves to move on. He's a fantastic top player. NMG Rando, just no shame losing to him, and no shame going out when the seed treats me like this. So I'm pretty happy overall.
That's great. You were a pleasure to have, especially when you made it this far in the top 32. That is very, very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, right, right there says a lot. Top 32 of this tournament. I mean, this tournament was 512 players. To be top 32 is no small feat.
Yeah, there were no free wins in this tournament, and I'm totally fine with the way it ended up. And now I get to actually watch and do some commentary going forward too. I haven't been able to do that because I just keep playing. So now I get to actually have fun and no more stress.
Well, I'm hoping to either see one of your commentators or me possibly commentate with you. So that's great.
Yeah, I got a lot of free time now.
Yeah, I'm lucky I was able to sneak this race in. So yeah, and it was a pretty good one. Very
firework heavy.
Oh yeah,
for,
very firework
Independence
heavy.
Day.
We were very excited that you got bombos, the fire rod, and bombs very early.
Yeah, very explosive start, huh?
Yep. That's what we were looking for over here to celebrate our Independence Day.
And we're going to continue to celebrate the Independence Day with 2 races coming up later today. But before we get into those, please be sure to give our 2 runners a follow, Buane and g3rd0. They put on quite a show, and they done a really good job making it this far. Sadly, Buane is out of the tournament, and g3rd0 has made it to the top 16. But either or, they put on a really good show, and you should definitely give them a follow. As well as our tracker, OSS Geek. He did a very good job tracking all those items for us, as well as my co-commentator, Cerber. Cerbroth.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Sabertooth, Semitoth. Anyway, so coming up, in addition to our race that we just watched, at 4:30, we're going to have Sazaz versus g3rd0, and that's going to be brought to you by Udiamonistic and Phantom Ryu. Talk about not only great race, but great commentary too. That one's going to be fantastic. Make sure you stick around for that. And then
it's me too, but it's still going to be
does not matter. And to top it off, today at 6:30 p.m. we are going to have Pink Kitty Rose versus Willard J. Bradley, and our commentators are going to be JP and Vooligan. So lineup is stacked today, commentary is stacked today. So stick around and make sure you enjoy all the Zelda randomizer action that you could possibly handle.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get ready for that race, that first race, particular in about 15 minutes. But
yeah,
regardless, everyone out there that's been watching this race, have a happy Independence Day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you all for coming out and watching. Yeah, we'll see you next time.